Hello YouTube, it's me Bergie and I'm here with another Top 5 Wednesday. I've actually stuck with it, knock on wood, let's hope I can stick with it for the next 2 weeks. Let's see if that is doable. And hold me up to that because I want to try to be good with uploading. And like I said in my last video, Top 5 Wednesday, which is a Goodreads group, is a great way to do that. So, this week's topic is favorite minor characters. Now, I kind of had some trouble with this topic because my two favorite series, Harry Potter and Percy Jackson, or really anything by Rick Riordan, it's kind of hard to define minor characters within those novels because even though, okay, so you've got the main character, which in Harry Potter's case is of course Harry Potter, and in the Percy Jackson mythology series, it's mostly Percy Jackson. And then you have the sidekicks, which are Hermione and Ron, and then Grover and Annabeth. And I get that. But then what do you consider minor characters? Would you consider like Luna, or let's see, who else from Nico D'Angelo from Percy Jackson? Would you consider them minor characters? But they're not really, so I'm not sure. But then the professors in Harry Potter, or the gods in Percy Jackson, would they be considered minor characters? So I personally wouldn't characterize those types of characters as minor, but then what does that leave me with? So I basically, for minor characters, I defined it as people who were basically mentioned or seen for like a good 5 minutes in the book series or book that I'm talking about. And it was kind of hard because those are the kind of characters that you don't remember because nothing really happens with them because they are minor. So I tried my best to remember as many as I could. I probably didn't pick my absolute favorites for this, but again, I couldn't remember most of them, or I don't know if any of my favorite minor characters I would actually consider minor characters. So yeah, that was a bit of a long intro, but now I'll get into my actual list of favorite minor characters. So first off, I'm going to go from George Orwell's Animal Farm. Now, again, this is kind of problematic. Like, you can argue that this character is minor or is not minor. It can go both ways, but for the purposes of this video, I'm considering this character minor, and that is Benjamin the donkey within the novel. Now, I love him because he's such a smartass. No pun intended. But he is stubborn, of course, which is a character that is well known of a donkey, or is characterized as being donkey-like. And even though, I don't know, because he knows everything is wrong that's happening with all the other characters in Animal Farm, and even though he doesn't speak up about it, which he probably should, just the fact that he understands what's going on, I really like him for that, even though he probably should have spoken up or done something about it to try to prevent a communist regime to go on. But yeah, I did like Benjamin's character, and I characterized him as being minor, so he is my first favorite minor character. The second favorite minor character that I listed is Madge Undersea from the Hunger Games trilogy. This is more of an actual minor character in my books because she was kind of only within the first Hunger Games book, and even then it was only for like 1 or 2 chapters, I believe. But I really like her because even though Katniss is a bit of a snob, a little bit, she still tries to be nice to Katniss and does help her, and I find that very meaningful. And the fact that she is the one who gives Katniss the Mockingjay pin, like, I just find that very symbolic because most people who just watch the movies, they wouldn't know this because it wasn't in the movies. And I don't know, I just see her as a very important character in in the Hunger Games series. So she actually, if you look at it, she's actually the reason why the Mockingjay symbol has become such an important and strong, powerful symbol within the series. So I feel like she doesn't get enough credit, so that is why she is on this list. The next one is Angela from the Inheritance series by Christopher Paolini. I think I'm pronouncing his name right, but if not, please please forgive me. But I really liked her because she just seems so cool. Now, I don't remember the book series a lot. I read it 4 years ago last time. I think that was the last time I read it. So it has been a while and I don't really remember much, but I do remember that I really enjoyed Angela. Now I don't remember if she did have a big enough part to not be considered a minor character, but again, just from what I remember, she wasn't like a main character, so therefore I placed her in the minor character. And she was just, I don't know, I just remember her being such a badass. I really need to read those books again so I can see it, and I'm pretty sure Christopher Paolini is going to write a book at some point that is connected to the series. I don't know if it's necessarily within the series, but I'm pretty sure I've read somewhere that he wants to write more books, though it might not come anytime soon. But yes, I really liked Angela's character, and I really need to read those books again. The last two are kind of cheats, similar to how Benjamin's is, because I don't know necessarily if I would consider them minor characters exactly to the same extent that I would Madge Undersea, but they are from my two favorite series, which I've talked about in the beginning. From Harry Potter, it is Fred and George Weasley, and then from the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, it is Calypso. So first, let's get to Fred and George Weasley. Now, I'm characterizing them as minor characters despite the fact that they might not necessarily be minor characters because they are not in Harry's trio. They're not in the kind of trio that's around them, like Luna, Neville, and who was the third one, I think? I think J.K. Rowling associates Draco in that kind of ring of people because they're not necessarily within the friend group, but they're just like right out. Not that Draco is a friend of them, but like they have the same kind of importance, I guess. That's not the right word, but hopefully you know what I mean. But yeah, the Weasley twins are kind of just outside that. No, it's Ginny, not Draco. Yes, but anyway, yeah, so Fred and George are just like outside of that ring. And I mean, I don't want to call them like tertiary characters or something like that, because that could really just go so far in the Harry Potter series, and you gotta stop somewhere. So I'm considering that level and beyond minor characters. So yes, that's my justification for putting Fred and George in the minor character sphere. Now, I love them because they just are a great source of humor and light in a very serious storyline. And I just love that because they really don't care. They don't care how other people feel about them or think of them. They just do what they want and what makes them happy, and I love that about them. And also it doesn't hurt that I kind of had a book crush on both of the Weasley twins. More so George, but I wanted to be their friends at the very least. But yes, that's the reason behind Fred and George Weasley. Now onto Calypso. This you can argue more so that she is not a minor character, especially if you read some of the other series within Rick Riordan's mythology-based books. But just talking about specifically the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, we saw Calypso for a good 5 minutes in one of the 5 books. So in that sense, I think she is a minor character. Now, I love her because, one, she's just a character from Greek mythology that I've only really read about in the Odyssey, so I kind of like seeing more of her character and seeing her presented in a different way. I thought that was very interesting. And then she just seems like such a nice person, and the fact that even though she is kind of trapped and imprisoned, she kind of makes the most of it. She maintains her beautiful island, and despite the fact that she knows what her curse is, she doesn't hold back from it. Well, she does try to, but it doesn't work, and then she embraces it, and I just love her character just so much. So those are my top 5 favorite minor characters. Again, I found it hard to kind of define minor characters and the actual definition of what I believe a minor character is. I don't really remember many of them, and I don't have most of my books to actually look through to see if there are any that I would truly classify as minor characters that I would call my favorite, but these are the ones that I can remember. It might have been cheating a little bit, but anyway, please let me know what your favorite minor characters are. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.